Let's bake a batch of these classic 1970s Hershey's Honeybear Brownies. They're soft and chewy, slathered with homemade chocolate frosting, and even better with a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. This is a quick and easy recipe, so you can have a batch in the oven in no time. So let's get started. Cream together 3/4 cup sugar and 1/3 cup softened butter. Start the mixer on low speed, then gradually increase to a higher speed until light and fluffy. Next, add 2 teaspoons of vanilla and drizzle in 1/2 cup of honey. I love this recipe because the honey seems to keep the texture of the brownies really soft and chewy. Add 2 large eggs and mix together well. And now for the dry ingredients. Sift in 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. Add 1/3 cup of cocoa and 1/2 teaspoon salt. The original recipe calls for 1 cup of chopped nuts. I didn't add any to mine this time, but toasted walnuts or pecans would be really good added to the batter. Sift in the dry ingredients and stir together using a spoon. At this point, you just want to barely mix in the dry ingredients. Overmixing can cause a cakey brownie, so try not to overmix. This makes enough batter for a 9x9 square pan, or you can use a 7x11 brownie pan. I'll have links for both pans in the description below. For brownies, I like to line the pan with parchment paper and then lightly coat it with butter. If you don't have parchment, you could just butter your pan and lightly dust with cocoa, or use non-stick spray. Spread the batter as evenly as you can and bake in a preheated 350-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes. Mine baked right at 28 minutes. As the brownies cool, I'll show you how to make my favorite chocolate frosting. To a mixing bowl, add 6 tablespoons of softened butter. If you're using unsalted butter, add about 1/8 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon vanilla, and 3 tablespoons of half and half. And you can use whole milk as a replacement if you need to. Next, sift in 1/4 cup of cocoa, and I like to always sift cocoa when I use it in baking, especially in frosting. Blend in the cocoa on low speed. You can gradually increase the speed on the mixer until everything turns nice and glossy. And the final ingredient for the frosting, we'll add 3 cups of powdered sugar. And be sure to use low speed as you mix in the powdered sugar at first. That's one thing I love about this cordless KitchenAid hand mixer. The low speed setting is a true low speed. It's neat and tidy, and it's not too loud. If you'd like to know more about cordless KitchenAid hand mixers, check out my mixer review video. I'll leave a link in the description. Now at this point, the icing will look a little too crumbly. You'll think it's never going to come together, but just keep mixing. Gradually increase the speed and keep mixing until it lightens in color and turns really fluffy. This makes enough icing for a 9x9 or 7x11 brownie pan. Or if you have a large batch of cupcakes or you're frosting a layer cake, you can double the recipe. Spread the icing out evenly, and you can make swirl designs in the top with your spatula or leave it plain and smooth. Either way, I think you're going to love this recipe. For years, I'd heard my mama talk about these honey brownies she used to make back in 1976. And she told me how good they smelled when they were in the oven. Everybody that dropped by had to know what was baking. And yeah, I've always wanted to make these, but I never had the recipe until we ran across an old Hershey's cocoa tin. And there it was on the side, a recipe for Honeybear Brownies. I was so excited to finally get to try this recipe, and I'm really happy to share it with you. This is the ultimate brownie to serve with a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. Keep watching and I'll show you how to make my version of no-churn vanilla ice cream. It's not quite as sweet as the usual recipe. I like to add a little extra cream, and it works great for serving with birthday cakes or brownies or any kind of a dessert. This ice cream recipe makes perfect scoops, so I hope you'll give it a try. If you're making your own ice cream, you'll want to make it a day ahead so it'll have plenty of time to freeze overnight. This is another easy recipe, so we'll get started with one 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Stir in 2 teaspoons of vanilla until it's all blended together. In another bowl, add 2½ cups of heavy whipping cream. I've even added almost 3 cups of cream, and it turns out great. Beat on high speed until thick and fluffy. Now you want to be careful not to overbeat the cream. We don't want to turn it into butter, and you'll have a better texture if you just make it look about like this. Gradually fold the whipped cream into the condensed milk mixture until everything is mixed in. If you want to make different flavors of ice cream, this is the time to add in the extras like crushed cookies, any kind of berries, chocolate chunks, or toasted nuts. You can get creative and add anything you like. Transfer to a freezer-safe container, cover, and freeze overnight. You can find all these recipes and more on my website, doublestopbakeshop.com. If you try these brownies, or if you remember making them back in the 70s, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.